I was browsing around the internet one day looking for some vintage video games when I stumbled across an interesting website, Remambo.jp. They're basically a proxy shipping service from Japan that allows you to buy stuff from Japanese sites like Yahoo Auctions or Mercari. Then they input their warehouse's address when buying the item and ship all of the items that you buy into their warehouse in Japan, and from there they repackage it and send it to you anywhere in the world. And I thought it was an incredible concept. So I reached out to them, asking them if they want to help me out with this video. And they said yes, absolutely, and paid for the shipping services. And thank you so much, Remambo, for doing that. And I always really like those videos where people go into flea markets or secondhand stores and find a bunch of stuff and just film it. And I always wanted to do that myself, but there aren't really many opportunities in my country to do that, even though I am currently working on something special, so you guys be on the lookout. But today we're gonna do that virtually. And what better country to do so than Japan, the home of rare, exciting, and just incredible video games. So yeah, let's get started with this video. So here we are on Remambo JP, and huge thanks to them because they are actually giving me free shipping for this order. I am going to be telling you my honest opinion about the website as always because they have given me the green light to do so. So on here you can choose between a few Japanese websites, mainly Yahoo Auctions and Mercari. So Yahoo Auctions is basically like Japanese eBay. You can bid on stuff and win auctions and order stuff that way. Or you can just go on Mercari, which is more for buy it now, and you can just pick out the stuff you'd like and basically buy them from Japan, and they'll ship it right to your house, which is really cool. And yeah, you do need to add the funds before you buy anything, which I don't really like, honestly. I would much prefer it if you could just pay for the stuff single-handedly by PayPal or something. But yeah, I am going to add 20,000 yen to my account, which is about 116 euro, and they will charge you 128, so they do have a little bit of a fee. So I definitely recommend adding your funds all at once and not going by a few different transactions. Let's actually do 25,000 yen because I'm feeling extra spendy today. So I'll go for pay with PayPal. Okay, we'll need to update our profile first. There we go, now it works. And there we go, we have added 25,000 yen to my account, so we are pretty much ready to shop right now. So let me go over to Mercari first to see if there are any buy it now stuff that would interest me, and I will translate the website to English. So yeah, here there is even a category for retro games, so I'll just choose that right now. And yeah, it has given me a bunch of gaming stuff right here. So yeah, let's just scroll until we find something that interests me. Ooh, and we have a Game Boy Micro with a bunch of games. These things can get really expensive, by the way, and I've always wanted one. But yeah, it is 24,000 yen, which is basically my entire balance. So I guess not today, but it looks really, really cool in this bluish purple. Yeah, I'm not really finding anything interesting by just scrolling, so I guess let's just search for some stuff. So I just typed in Game Boy, and would you look at that, we have a Super Game Boy complete in box, which is extremely cool. If you guys don't know what a Super Game Boy is, it is basically a cartridge for your SNES or Super Famicom in this instance that lets you plug in Game Boy games and play them on the console. And this thing actually has the same CPU that a normal Game Boy has inside of it. So yeah, it is really cool. It is basically like a standalone Game Boy that you plug into your SNES without a screen. Yeah, there are even some cheaper ones right here. I guess this is not the most expensive thing, but it is really cool when it's complete in box. So let me just check how much. That would be $12 complete in box and free inland shipping. Okay, I'll definitely add that to my cart and see if I'll buy that later. We also have Pokemon Yellow complete in box right here, but 14,000 yen is so much for a complete in box game. I'm pretty sure you can get this much cheaper, but the box does look really, really cool, and it has the game, it has everything inside of it. Yeah, it looks awesome, really. And we have Kirby the Rolling Stones Game Boy Color, which is a game that I really like. I believe this is called Kirby Tilt and Tumble in the US and Europe, but this is just such an amazing game because it uses motion controls on the Game Boy Color, which I think is really, really cool. You can see it by this icon right here. Yeah, I would really like to have a copy of this complete in box, and this one is only $19. So yeah, I'll definitely add this to cart, and I might even buy this later. I would like to get some consoles though, so let's search for Game Boy DMG and see what comes up. So I searched for the Game Boy on Yahoo Auctions and a bunch of things came up. Look at this one that is complete in box. That is just so incredibly cool. It even comes with Mario Land complete in box with the original price sticker, it looks like. Yeah, and here is the item description. Yeah, this one is really cool. I'll definitely add this one to the watch list. This auction ends in a day, so I will just add this to the watch list, definitely. And here are some Game Boy results on Mercari, and we do have a few, but the buy it nows do seem to be really, really steep, unfortunately. So here we have one for $23 right here. Looks okay, might be a bit yellowed. It is labeled as junk. Everything looks pretty good, however, there isn't a clear picture of the screen, and if the screen is dead, I can't really do anything with that. So let's look around some more. We also have this one for $27, which would be a really cool restoration project, as it looks like. And they even have some of the really, really exclusive Game Boy Colors, like special ones. This is the Doraemon Special Edition, and I believe only a handful of these were made. Look, and they even have the box that it came with. That is extremely, extremely cool. And this one is going for $3,500, so yeah, definitely a bit out of budget. But yeah, that is basically the reason why you want to shop from Japan, because the amount of cool stuff that they have over there is just incredible. Like, they have stuff I've never even heard of or seen before just come up on sites like these for sale, so that is why I find this so incredibly interesting. I would also like to get a 3DS because I do want another console, preferably a new 3DS. So let me see what the market looks like for the 3DSs. On eBay and in Europe, they're starting to get really expensive because people are basically noticing what an incredible console it was. But yeah, on Mercari, it doesn't really seem that there are a lot of consoles. Mostly the games just come up, so I might switch to Yahoo Auctions and see what we have there. We've got this one called 3DS Body. It looks like it's working and in pretty good condition, and this one is black and is only $68, which is not that bad for a 3DS in this market. Yeah, I do want a new one preferably, however, this is the base model. I've always wanted a new 2DS, so let's type in 2DS and see what comes up if we do that. Here is a new 2DS LL, but this one is basically new and is $200. There is also this Minecraft one, which I've always found pretty cool, like as a special edition. But yeah, this one is also $300, so we're gonna skip on that. Okay, I think I do want to switch over to Yahoo Auctions for a 3DS. Oh, and here is the Pokemon edition, which has become really rare lately. It is a shame because I've seen a lot of them for sale basically 3 or 4 years ago in any store. You could just walk in and get this one and the Pikachu one. So it is a shame that I didn't pull the trigger on that back when it was new in store. Ooh, this ice white one with the box is really, really nice. It is an older 3DS, but I do need another one of those as well. Preferably, I do want it to be pink, however. But yeah, this one is in box and it just looks incredibly nice. So I might just heart that. It ends in 2 hours, so I'll probably have to snipe that over my phone if I want to buy this. We also do have 2 units right here. One of them is pink, which is what I want. They are labeled as junk, however, and it looks like they don't turn on. So let's see the item description. These are junk items that have not been checked for condition or functionality at all. Huh, interesting. So they say that it isn't checked, which probably means that they don't work. But yeah, I'll definitely heart these two because I do get two 3DSs for $39, so I definitely will heart that. I hope that that price doesn't get too inflated. And yeah, all of the other ones end in a day or more, so I'm probably not going to look at those too much. I am gonna continue this video later because I do need to go right now, so I'll try to bid on some of those 3DSs because that is the main item that I want to order today. So we are gonna try to bid on that and get a 3DS, and then we'll basically see how much money we've got left to spend on other stuff. So yeah, I'll be back later, and yeah, we'll see what we can get. Okay, so I might have forgot to check my phone while I was out, and I lost all those auctions. Okay, but let's look for a 3DS seriously, and hopefully we can find something to buy. So I found this set of 6 non-working and non-tested 3DSs. So I might even heart this and see at how much the auction ends, because currently it is at 3,000 yen. So yeah, I'll definitely save this. It ends in 17 hours, so I should have enough to see at how much this ends, but it would be a pretty cool buy if we could buy this. And we also have this. There appears to be 9 DSs, 8 of them are DS Lites, 1 is a DSi, and a Monster Hunter 3DS in this auction. So I'll definitely heart this and see at how much it ends. I think it would be pretty cool to get a bundle of sorts and then make a video on that, but yeah. We also have a Lime X Black, but I don't really like this one. It is at only 500 yen, however. So I found this yellow DSi, and I've actually always wanted a yellow DSi. I've never even owned a DSi console, and I think they're really cool, and this yellow one is especially cool to me. So it is only $23, and it is listed as junk. However, I am going to add it to cart because this would be a pretty fun restoration project if we can get it. This is on Mercari, by the way, so we don't need to bid on it. Yeah, there seem to be a lot of DSs, but not really a lot of 3DSs available. But yeah, you can see that we just have a bunch of DSs available. I've actually always wanted a fat DS, the original one. I've actually never owned that either, so I might want to get one of those as well. This pink one seems pretty clean except for these lines on the screen. Yeah, the fat DS is just really cool to me. Same as the fat DMG Game Boy. I just found a fat DS with the box. It is not in the best condition, however it does turn on. It does have these lines on the screen, but it does turn on normally. And just look at the price with the original box, $13. I'm definitely adding this to cart. Look at this, guys. Microsoft Office XP personal copies unopened. I don't know why it says junk, but whatever, for 1 yen. And unfortunately, bidding on this item is disabled because self-pickup seems to be required, which is quite unfortunate, but I would snag this immediately if I was able to. 250 yen for an unopened copy of Office. Wow, that is a bargain. Okay, and this Pikachu link cable is just the cutest thing ever. Look at that. Okay, I need to have that. I'm sorry, $11. I need this in my collection. Look how cute it is. I also found this pretty beat DMG for only $23, so I'll definitely add this one to cart if I might want to buy it later, because I actually do not own an original DMG Game Boy, so I definitely would like to own that. And it would also make for a pretty cool restoration project, so yeah. Okay, so I found this boxed white 3DS for 8,500 yen, and it seems to be working absolutely fine. It comes in the box with everything, which is pretty cool. It is a bit beaten up or whatever, but we can fix all of this basically pretty easily. And it does also work, so I think that's a bargain for $58. So I'm definitely going to add this to the cart and see if I can maybe find something else. Also, it seems that this will be a video on just Mercari because Yahoo Auctions just isn't really giving out anything special today. I don't know what's up with that, but yeah, I guess we're going to go for most items off of Mercari. I also have found this Mint LL version, and it does also come with the box. However, it is in pretty bad condition. We would probably need to replace the entire shell on this one. It does work, however, which is definitely a plus Plus, but the condition isn't the nicest. I'll just add it to the cart just so we have that option available, but yeah, I'm not sure I'm going to get this one. So we've got this one, which is the one that I like the most, absolutely. So this is a white 3DS and it is $60. The downside is a bit scuffed as always, but whatever, we can just clean up all of that. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get this one right here. So yeah, I'm pretty sure that I'm going to get this white one with the box because I just liked that one the most. So I'll just delete the rest. So let's buy our first thing. So we have shopping help fee and also buyer protection that we need to pay 500 yen for. So it comes to 9,500 yen. So I'll just pay for that with my balance. And there we go. And it only paid for the Remambo shipping fee. So the total was 9,000 yen. So there we go. We just bought a 3DS for 9,500 yen, which is pretty good. So now we can pretty much continue that we bought a 3DS and we've got just about 15,500 yen left. So let's see what else we have in our shopping cart. I definitely do want to get this scuffed Game Boy Pocket right over here. So I'll just buy that right now. I think this would be a really cool restoration project. So I'll just pay for the Game Boy Pocket as well. There we go. We have ordered that. And I would most definitely like to get that DMG Game Boy that we saved, which is right over here, and it is 3,500 yen. But yeah, I definitely do want a DMG Game Boy inside of my collection. It does look like it has some battery corrosion, so let's hope that it didn't reach the motherboard, but it is shown working right here in the pictures, so we should be good. So let's also buy this one as well. There we go. So we got a Game Boy Pocket, a DMG Game Boy, and a 3DS so far. I'm not gonna be getting this advanced SP screen and shell because I didn't manage to find a logic board for it. This fat DS with the box is just an extremely cool item that I might want to have in my collection. I just find things like these that come in their original boxes really cool, and this one is only $14, so I might go ahead and get that, but we'll come back to this one later. I would also love to get a copy of Kirby the Rolling Stones right here because I think it is just the coolest game ever. However, I do not currently have a console to play this on. I do not own a Game Boy Color or a Game Boy Advanced currently. So yeah, we might want to look for that if we want to buy this game. And yeah, I don't really think that I'm going to be getting a Game Boy Color or this game, unfortunately, because they're just really expensive for what you get. So we might get some of these next time. However, I do really want this yellow DSi. I've wanted a DSi for quite a long time. So I think I'm going to get this DSi, definitely. There we go. So we just bought that one for 4,500 yen, which leaves us with just about, let me see, 3,320 yen, which is just enough for this boxed DS, which I found really cool. So it is just enough for something for about 2,000 yen. And yeah, here are the 5 things that we bought. So we got a boxed white 3DS for 9,000 yen. We also got a DMG Game Boy that needs repairs for 4,000 yen. We got a Game Boy Pocket that needs restoration for 2,600 yen. We got this really cool game that supposedly lets you connect to the internet back in the day. So I just wanted a physical copy so I can make a video on it. I cannot actually play this. I will play it in an emulator for the video. And I also got this yellow DSi for 4,000 yen. So these are the 5 things that we got. And yeah, I'll just wait for this to be delivered to the Remambo warehouse. Then we'll make a package and hopefully we'll get to unbox all of these soon. Also, I wanted to just correct myself real quick because on Remambo you can actually pay for the standalone item directly from PayPal. However, then it does take the fee that it would take when you add funds every time. But yeah, that is actually an option. So PayPal and credit card are both options, which is something that I find really useful because that means that you don't need to do all of the conversions if you don't care about the fees. You can just click with the PayPal button right here. It will take this amount of money from your balance and that is it. So yeah, if you guys appreciate that, that is also available on Remambo, which is why I think they're very cool. So in a few days, everything arrived at the Remambo warehouse, so I just made the package, and the shipping took about 1.5 weeks with all of the customs and import. So the items are right here, so let's unbox them. And after about 2 weeks, here we are with the package. And the shipping was pretty swift. I got a complimentary Mambo for that. There was a bit of a holdup with the import fees and charges with DHL, but that is just due to my country's laws. That has nothing to do with Remambo. But yeah, the package is right here. It looks like it is very securely packaged. So yeah, let's just open it. Ooh, I'm very excited for this. So there seems to be quite a lot of bubble wrap, which I'm very happy about. So we can open it like this. And first of all, we get a letter from Remambo. And yeah, they're basically just advertising their affiliate program right here, which, by the way, you can check out my link in the description. And here is all of my stuff, and it looks really, really well packaged. So let's go over it one by one. So this is the first thing that we have right over here, and this is a little Game Boy game. So it is packaged in this very nice clear pouch, so let's check this thing out. We get this little label with it, which I have no idea what it does. And here is the main item. So this is a Game Boy Color game, and it basically allowed you to connect your Game Boy to the internet with the help of a mobile phone. So yeah, I just saw this thing on an auction and it looked really interesting to me, so I'm definitely going to be making a full video about this. I haven't researched anything about it yet, but the information online does seem to be pretty scarce. So yeah, I'll definitely be making a video on this as soon as possible, but it just seems like a really interesting find. And that is the only game that I bought, so let's move on to the consoles. And would you look at this? And this right over here is a original DMG Game Boy, as I'm sure many of you guys already know. It is in pretty rough condition, as you can see. It has a little bit of battery corrosion, but yeah, I pretty much just bought this for a restoration video. So yeah, I'll sort of be going back to my roots a little bit and making some restoration content again, which I'm very excited about, and this is going to be in one of the videos. So yeah, I did not remember all of the prices for everything, but you guys have seen that in the beginning of the video. So yeah, this is gonna be a very fun little project. Let's move on to the next one. And here is the yellow DSi that I bought. This one is supposed to be in really good shape, so we'll definitely see if that is the case. The packaging really is on point. Everything is wrapped in bubble wrap really good. And here is the lime-ish, yellowish DSi that I bought. And I'm pretty sure this one was really cheap. I do not remember exactly how much I paid for it, but it is in really, really good condition. Let's try to turn it on because I'm not sure I do have a charger on hand. I'll have to order that off of AliExpress. But let's see if it powers on just like this. Yeah, it's out of battery, of course. Let me see if I maybe have a DSi charger. Since I don't own the console, I'm pretty sure I don't have it, but I'll definitely check it out. Otherwise, this is in really good condition, so yeah. And the DSi does actually use the same charger type as the 3DS, so I just left that on charge, so we'll get back to that later. And here is our second to last console, and you guys might have your guesses on what this is already. Now, this is a gold version of the Game Boy Pocket. These gold versions were really popular in Japan, but this one is so incredibly damaged that it's basically brown. You can see the state of the screen and it is really not in great condition. So yeah, I pretty much bought this one just because it was so damaged. I wanted a challenge for a restoration project. Everything else looks pretty good and I'm pretty sure that it was shown as working on the pictures. So yeah, I'll have to order a screen lens, I'll have to get some polarizer film and replace the screen. I'll have to get a new sticker for the back, and I'll probably also paint this one gold, so that will be a pretty cool video. So definitely stay tuned for that. Now we're moving on to the main event. Now this is a complete in-box ice white 3DS, which I paid just about $60 for. It has all of the manuals and the AR cards right here, and it has all of the material that came with it originally. It unfortunately doesn't come with a charger, but I have ordered a European one already, and it is in pretty good condition. It will need a little bit of a restoration, so I'll probably replace this joystick right here and maybe even do the buttons. But let's see if this one is charged, and it looks like it is, and there it is. It turns on without any problems. So this is a fully working, complete in-box 3DS for only $60. I thought this was a really good deal. I'm definitely gonna make another video on this one where I'll probably explore all of the manuals and stuff, and I'll also probably homebrew this unit. And yeah, I'll likely gift it to a special someone. Just look at this 3DS box. I think the original 3DS is just so cool, and it was so modern back when it was first released. Let's see if that DSi has charged. Okay, so the DSi has been charging for about 5 minutes. Let's see if the battery holds a charge. And it does, and the console turns on without any problems. So all it needed was a charge. And look at that, it has some pictures of the previous owner on it. Everything else works fine, as you can see. It is missing the SD card, as I can see by the prompts. So yeah, I'll definitely be making videos with this, with some DSi homebrew. I've been wanting to do that for a while. And yeah, that will be pretty much it for this video. Now, as you can see, I got a pretty big haul from Japan, and all of these items will pretty much get their separate videos. That's why I'm not talking about them as much right now. Thank you so much to Remambo for paying for the shipping for all of this, and also kindly sponsoring this video. You'll find all of their links in the description, and their services really are amazing. And thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to leave a like and subscribe for more videos like this one. Also, please check out my Twitter and Instagram, and we do have a join button now, so for as low as $1 a month you can really help out the channel, and you also do get some pretty cool perks with it, such as early access to videos and some emojis. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.